Okay, Debbie, I think you're on here.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
Whoops, we got an echo.
Let's see, my computer.
Let me, wait a minute. I had you on the wrong one. Okay, let's try again.
Testing. Got it? Ooh, this lighting is still bad.
No, we're still having a problem.
Lighting.
Is your laptop muted?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, that sounds better already.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to mute myself.
Oh, don't go. Okay. Okay. Now, how's the lighting? This lighting, oh my gosh. So when I hold something up, I need to hold it up to the phone, it looks like, right? Yeah, okay.
Yes.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, the lighting's a little bright down there, but maybe up by the phone, it won't be so bad. I don't know. Right in there, and your hands are almost off of the camera there.
That's right. I'm looking at two different screens. This is where I am right here. Okay. So this lighting. Deb Hart, come over and help me with the lighting. Okay. Okay, let's see. Oh, maybe that's better.
Yeah, that's better.
Okay, gosh, I tell you. Anyway, I'll get this figured out. My goodness, one day. This is my first time doing a demo on Zoom. How exciting is this? Am I to look in my phone? I guess so. Yeah. Okay. Jeez. I don't know where I'm looking. When I hold something up, I'm to hold it here. Is that correct? Yes, good. This is the cosplay that you sent me, Betty. And this is a number 4 setting. I thought I'd play with it to show just the flexibility of it. It's amazing. So you sent me black, and I dry brushed it after I stamped it. And it's just amazing how flexible. This is a number 3 setting. Okay, and then this is a number 4 setting. It's getting thinner and thinner. That's like a snakeskin pattern, but that's a 4. It's amazing how flexible this is. These are eventually going to be earrings. But yeah, it's amazing. And that's a 4. If I really wanted to make earrings that thin, I could pull this off and make them much lighter.
And I will say something here for anybody that's interested. If you are not on the cosplay mailing list, you will probably want to go to cosplay, COSCLAY.com. I'll put that in the chat box. Monday, they are selling the rest of their Kickstarter stuff that they didn't sell, and the prices are excellent. And so you would, if you didn't get a chance to get in on that, this is your chance. And then they expect to release it to the public early summer. So
what does that mean? What's an excellent price mean?
It's like what is it, $1? It was less than $2 a block.
2 ounce
for a 2 ounce block, but it's like you get 3 pounds, I believe it was, for $39.95.
Okay, do the math. All right, good. Okay, I will continue with just to quickly show, this is a number 5 setting. Oh, here's the phone over here. Okay, that's a 5. And again, this is all black that I dry brushed. This is odd to show it over my phone. And my terrible so-called manicure, pardon me, our salons are not open around here yet, so hey, what can I say? And then this is a 6 setting, really thinner. It's not even cracking at all. It's amazing how flexible this stuff is. I personally don't know if I can see this being used in my collection. or my my jewelry right now, unless it's sculpture. I can see it being used for sculpture maybe, and maybe some earring designs, and maybe a bracelet or so. But overall, it's a nice clay, and it's definitely flexible. It's definitely got that going for it. So I thought I would show, I'm going to also assume everyone knows how to make a bullseye cane. And let me see, am I to look in this camera? Can you guys see me face on this way? Oh, Betty, I guess you're the only one that can talk back. Okay. Okay, so don't look there. I see what's going on now. 2 cameras are on me here, so it's a little
it doesn't matter, Debbie. Just don't worry about, you know.
okay. Technical, okay. Okay, so I made.
Okay, Tom. Tom has a question.
Not so much a question, but on the cause clay, the other big advantage to it is you can make little dangly things that hang off would hang off earrings or that sort of thing, and they would be flexible and strong and wouldn't break.
Great idea.
Would be you can have things hang off or stick out from it, and it won't break off.
Okay.
You can give more dimension to jewelry items.
That's wonderful. Perfect. Thank you. Yeah. I'm going to start with a bullseye, Skinner blend bullseye, just to show, just from the beginning, what can be done with this. I can almost write a tutorial on 101 ways to use a bullseye cane or make it into stuff, but it's amazing how versatile this is. And I'm just reducing it now. I guess you guys can see that's still too much lighting, but let me know if you really need me to adjust the lighting. And I'm gonna reduce it. And I like using these acrylic sheets. There's a store in Columbus called American Plastics. And first thing I do is walk into the scrap pile, and they have shelves full of circles and squares and rectangles and different thicknesses, and it's just a treat. But they sell it by the pound there, and it's a good deal. Okay, let me cut the ends off. Yeah. I'm gonna make just a basic grouping of bullseyes. Right now it's about this size of a width. And I'm gonna make it a little thinner and flatten it down. So it looks like that on either end. Okay. And cut it in half, flip it over and stack it. I'm building this up section by section, you can see. There's so many things you can do with just this particular shape. Usually when I cut a cane in half, I pick it up so it's a mirror image and not flip it around unless there's a reason. But for now, I like the image to be a mirror image. Okay. And then I'll cut it in half again and just keep producing and producing and combining. So it's like reduce, cut, stack, the normal term that we use. What I like about when we do shows, people are saying, how did you paint that? And I'm like, and I love it because they have no idea what we go through. I tell them it's how we manipulate the cane itself. And with that pattern, I've got a whole tray here of stuff to show. Let's see here. Oh, goodness. That's why I see why you guys didn't do this in your studio, because I certainly had to move out of mine just to set up my living room. It's just too much stuff to show. And the studio is too full of stuff. This tray, oh, you can see it over here. Okay, I'll move it like that. So this is what I just did, only with the Skinner Blend Bullseye. And with that pattern, I combine it to make this kind of section here, just straight across. This is my little African hut. And okay, now if I pinch it, on either end, okay, flatten it more. I'm going to repeat this process. And I'm just whipping this up quickly. I'm not measuring anything. I'm just kind of quickly doing this to show how I can bring this into a triangle shape. To make the roof shape per se. Let's see if I go closer like that. Yeah. And so on and so on. They can be combined for days and days and days. Then with one of these triangle shapes, I can, oh gosh, there's so much I can do. I can't even tell you. You reduce, cut, and stack. Okay. Keep combining. Then this eventually can form a circle and come up with a shape closer to this one, or even a half a circle to start with, and then cut two and put them together to form the whole circle. Well, this is interesting to see both of these cameras on. Then this is the same pattern, only with 4 together with the points facing inward and a perfect circle in the center. And to get that perfect circle, the black and white, I like to go ahead and bake a cane. And when it comes out of the oven and it's still warm, I'll just go ahead and start cutting little dots off of it. I can find them. Let's see, oh, here they are. So these are dots that were put together in a row, and they were baked and cut. And I guess you guys can kind of see this tray full of goodies. But I just like to pre-bake components first and then assemble them. It's really fun for me to do. And it's mindless. In fact, making components itself is mindless, because once you get them made, they can just be laying there. You can play and make a puzzle out of them, switch back and forth. Patterns can be combined. Which camera? Oh, that one. This could be an earring this way or that way. It could be like a lotus or something. There's so many options here. So much fun. And then this was done with, let's see, just stacking a bunch of canes together in a row and slicing it off and then baking it. Yeah. And again, it can be done vice versa. If you want a perfect circle that isn't going to be bending or distorted, I like to just go ahead and bake the whole cane first, and then I can cut it off once it's warm. It's a perfect circle. As Deb was doing last month, even with her little dots, she was sticking in her patterns. They were pre-baked because that way you don't distort them. Is that what was happening, Deb? Oh wait, Deb can't talk to me. That's right. Okay.
I can unmute her here.
Oh, sure.
There, Deb.
Yep, that's exactly right.
Right on. Okay. I was thinking. Okay. All right. But yeah, this is just like a mix and match, and it's just fun to play and just design all kinds of things here. I use bullseye canes a lot when I'm decorating and designing pieces. I make them tiny and line pieces, pre-baked pieces, and go on top of baked pieces. This piece up here is domed because I have a whole collection of these great glass domes that I ordered from someplace. I forgot where it was off the top. Ovals and rectangles, squares. So if I ever want a special shape, I will bake the slice on a dome just for dimension.
I have some of those that I think they're what's the name of it? Well, let me look and see if I can find them, and I'll let you know.
Sun and Moon or something was one of the places I got these. Let's see. And then this is a dome piece with just bullseyes. Those are going to be earrings. With a double bullseye cane with 2 outer wrappings. But I think basically you can see the idea. Because eventually, when I get ready for a show, I just start making components and get moving on them. And then I don't like to make the same pair of earrings twice per se. So they're all one of a kind. When I tell my customers, you won't see yourself walking down the street in them. They'll be a little different, but similar. And that's what takes me a little longer to produce because I'm making one of a kinds. Each one is a beginning and I have to think of how I'm doing it. But this is just a color palette. And it's easier for me to work in certain palettes at once. That way all the colors are out in front of me. There's canes ready and lined up to go. And then I can cut and paste and mix and match and make collages and all kind of neat stuff. This has a square cane and it kind of looks, what does this remind you guys of? This is kind of funny looking to me. A little, well, kind of like either a flower pot or a Martian. I don't know what it is, but anyway, the top part has bullseye canes that were squared off, literally, with several layers on them. Then I started a ring. And this, I'm going to add to it though, but there's some ring bases that I ordered. I even covered this with black clay, but yeah, there's some rings I'm doing. And I think this is about it on this tray. No. This piece was, we have, at our retreat, we have a, left, right, center. So these were the chips I made for the left, right, center. Just a quick grouping of, I think we had to make about 9 of these. So we however many we went at the end, that's the winner, whoever gets those. I forgot how to play that on this, gosh.
Okay, we got a couple of questions.
Oh, sure.
Let me
Yes.
let me unmute Tom. Okay, Tom.
Okay.
There again, it wasn't so much a question, was far as being one of a kind, you kind of have the possibility of doing assembly line one of a kinds.
Okay.
Yeah, really.
Okay. I guess so. I wish I had helpers doing it on the assembly, but yes, it's all here for me to play with.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just grab the one you want and start with going on that.
Yeah. And this is another way to do this, where you put a bunch, I call this a bubble cane, where you put a bunch of bullseyes together in different widths.
There's a place where you could use the cause clay. It's going to stick together well. It'll be flexible, and you don't have to worry about your bubbles coming apart.
Oh, you're going to sell this product, aren't you, Tom?
Well, we're just trying to find some good uses for it,
Well,
because it's.
I'm open. You know, if I get a color palette, I'll be able to work with it and see, yeah, what it does for caning. Yeah, for sure, because I do like to have my stash of canes. Well, lately I've been doing designs with metallic and different things, but and then crackle paint and all kinds of other things. But there's nothing like a good cane, and I will always have these in my collection to work with when it's time to make certain designs.
Okay.
But yeah, bubble paint. Oh, somebody had a question?
Yeah, from Marlene, she says, and this was my question too, do you glue with your assembly or do you use polymer clay? How do you put them together?
Well, the earrings and stuff, you mean, right? Like
Yeah,
that?
where you have the pre-baked pieces.
Okay, all right.
Polymer.
And this is like a real thin, can you see? Yeah, like a number 3. I like to have about a 3 or 4 cane slice pre-baked. Then I'll take a 3 or 4 raw piece to put it on and cut around it and embed the ear wire, whatever I'm embedding, like that, for instance. So it's a 2-part process. Let me go under the camera here. Okay, a 2-part process where I'm adding the raw clay to the baked clay with TLS in the middle. No glue. It's just translucent liquid Sculpey or a liquid clay, whatever brand you have. This was a checkerboard. It's going to be a dangle earring, but it's a little tedious. But there's a post in here, and I had to put a wire on the bottom to dangle whatever's going to be dangling from it. So, and then of course the wire. This piece will have a wire coming up also. But yeah, so it's all TLS pretty much. Does that help with the question?
And help me.
Okay.
So, and while I'm unmuted here,
Mhm.
it's Mod Podge that has the domed things. There's a package of 6
Oh, okay.
podgeable glass domes. And I think
Wow.
I got these. I think I picked them up at Michael's, but I'm sure that Hobby Lobby probably has them too.
I have,
Other
of course, if you
places.
order them big time, I mean like a bunch of them and spread them around the guild. There's oh, here's the address in here. And there's so many shapes to choose from. And I think they come in dozens or half dozens. Oh, here it is. Okay. Oh, there it goes. Right. sunandmooncrafts.com or something like that. Sun and Moon Crafts. I think it's in California or somewhere. But I've had these for years. Plus, I mean, not to mention using light bulbs and other things for stones and things. But yeah. Okay, I think, oh, here we go. Here's another thing I did. This is not a bullseye cane, but I thought I'd bring this out to show you because it's something I came up with one day while I was playing. This is going to eventually be a pendant, but it is from making a bead that okay, so there's red, it's a bullseye that I started with. So I wrapped black around red and squashed it to make it flat. And when I squashed these, some of them ended up having a red little, you can see the opening. So I would call them flat tire beads because they split like split tires and stuff. So the whole collection of these beads is that technique. However, I did it again and cut the corners off of these and ended up with these great little shapes that I mounted after I baked them. Mounted them on some raw white clay and then making a design. I'll probably have something dangling from this or something. I don't know yet what I'll do, but I don't finish a piece until it starts talking to me and saying, Debbie, let's do something else here or something. Not literally, I haven't gone crazy yet, but it's got to really speak to me for me to complete it. I don't often design pieces at first. I will just start working and seeing what it evolves to be and go from there.
Okay, I think Dee has a question. Is that?
Yeah.
I was just going to say that I've ordered things from Sun and Moon, and I agree with Debbie. The price and the variety of shapes and sizes that you can get is wonderful, and you know, I highly recommend that. So
Really got a good price. Yeah.
yes,
And Ruth says that sunandmooncraftkits.com.
right.
Yeah,
Right.
you are like, okay, we have people working in the behind the scenes. I love it. Okay.
Yeah, and Marlene said that did answer her question a while ago. So.
Oh, good.
Okay. Wait. Whoops. Wait a minute.
Back there. Okay. All right. Now let's see. Then there were some other earrings I did in another color scheme. I'll do this was a purple white time of year, and this is an actual bullseye that I'll show you how to make. It's a palm leaf cane. Does everyone know how to make a palm leaf cane, or should I bother? Or
I don't think I know.
okay, well, very well. I also like to put something on the back. Why not? You've got extra scraps and stuff. Why not put something on the back? People are always flipping my stuff over when they're at a show, and I love to see their expression, because they're like, "Oh, you did the back." I think, yes, I did. So it's really a good.
Yeah, I think several of us do that. I know I do. So
Yeah. And then this is another dome-shaped thing, pair of button earrings with bullseyes. All of it is bullseye in the purple area. Okay. And then this was another pattern with bullseyes, basically. In fact, most all of those are bullseyes, yeah, with different other patterns on them. That's a collage I'll be showing you later. Let's see. Okay. Palm leaf cane. I haven't made that in a minute. Let me see. I start with a basic bullseye. Depends on what color you want to use. I'm going to make a smaller one here.
okay, is everybody using speaker view? If Debbie isn't large enough, you may want to go to the upper right of your screen there, and you should see something. If you're on gallery view, there'll be a little thing that says speaker view. And if you're having trouble seeing, if it's too small, you can click on that. That's why I've got everyone muted. So that, because whoever is speaking, that's usually who is showing on the screen. So, and sometimes even just a little noise will cause a person to show up on the screen. So, okay, Connie says that fixed it. All right, good deal. I'm gonna mute myself again.
Okay, I'm just making a basic snake. I've reduced it to maybe a 1/4 inch width. I'm not doing any math here. Someone from the Dayton, Ohio Guild showed me this years ago. Ann Ristmiller is her name. And I haven't seen her in ages. Dee, have you seen her lately? Is she still around, Ann? Oh, I can't hear. You guys are on mute, right? Okay, sorry.
I just unmuted her.
Anybody can type in, that way you can read it to me if you want to, Betty. That's fine. If you want to chat back. Right now I'm rolling the cane flat, first of all. And cutting it into thirds. I'm going to leave one larger than the others, and cut it into fourths. And I'm going to, I like to call this like roofing tile, kind of layer it so that it's, what's this term called, Tom or whoever? This is like a, not stagger, but just laying it at an angle. Okay, that's the largest piece. The second piece is going to be a little thinner. I'm just stroking it so it gets a little narrower. Let's see, I'll cut it into fourths. And then, oops, doing the same thing. Shingle tiles, that's what I want to use, that term, yeah, like shingling it. And then, okay, then I put the large one on top of the smaller one, connect those guys. And I should have probably made these all into round bullseyes first before I flatten them, but at least you can get the idea. It's a mama, papa, and a baby bullseye, if that helps in the size. So I'm gonna make this smaller at this point and skinnier. And this will be more or less the tip of the palm leaf. Cut that in fourths. And you can use as many sections as you want to make whatever length of leaf you want. I haven't made this cane in ages. Wow. Let's see. And that's the chip. Now. Okay, put them all together. Cut this end off so I can see what I've just done. What did I just do? Oh, I need to, okay. So this all needs to go in the same direction. Okay, can everyone see now? Kind of like that. Yeah. Then I'll cut it in half. I always like to put the pieces together that are cut in half. You can also put a vein down the middle if you like, but that's the basic palm leaf. Then the veins are added together, and then you can reduce it, squish it. Curl it on the end, et cetera, et cetera. So that's the idea of the palm leaf. This is going to be pretty in so many different colors. I can see spring coming now. Let's see. Oh, over here. Where is my camera? I can't see where my camera. Anyway, here's my phone.
There you go. You got it now.
This is so awkward. Okay, I can't say which camera is which. So that's the palm leaf. And, okay, now. Okay, got that. Now, since we're still in the red, black, and white category, I thought I'd show you the rest of these earrings I brought. This is my own personal stash. You already saw the diamond shapes. And once you bake a cane and slice off the cane, you'll get a perfect, even circle. So you don't have to worry about squishing it later. You can always stick it on later and bake it. That way you'll have a perfect circle and not have to squish. These are black and white. Gosh, let's see. Yeah, black and white. And I love this ceramic bead. These little black ceramic beads, I love that kind of bead because it works so well with polymer. It's got a nice matte finish, which is cool. Then on the back, I just threw a cane on the back just to add a little dimension and stuff. And then someone made a signature cane for me, an initial cane. They did a DJ for me. And she's in California. I saw her at a retreat years ago and haven't seen her since and wanted to hire her to make more. That way I can get about the business of making my jewelry, because I don't want to make a signature cane, but it was so cool. I'm running out of it. Then these are yellow, black, and white. These are my runaround earrings. And they're all bullseyes. They can be the teardrop, and then the back has the checkerboard on it. Oh, this is awkward under this camera here. Then, this is a pair that was done. I made the bead in at the top, like a half a moon shape. And those are bullseyes that were baked, the red ones. Yeah. And on the back, of course, has more design. And you already saw the little huts. I mean, the colors these can be, it's amazing. All the many colors these can be. And then this pair has extra dangles. Tom, I might take you up on making the bottom element because it's a heart shape made out of a bullseye. And I haven't tried making canes yet with the cosplay yet. So when I get another color, or maybe I'll mix it, I'll see what it's like as a dangle. But I'll show you how to make a heart cane out of a bullseye shortly. Someone had a question? Oh, Betty, no one had a question?
No,
Right.
no. Let's see. Connie said that Lisa Pavelka showed us how to make an initial cane,
Oh,
which that
good.
was, I think, before I joined the guild. And Jane Lynn just joined us.
Oh, good. Nice.
So glad to see you, Jane. We are in the middle of this, and everyone is muted. If you have a question, you can type it into the chat, and I will let Debbie know, or you can raise your hand, and I'll unmute you to ask your question.
Right.
You'll find on your little box that shows you, there's a little blue box with 3 little dots in it, and that has a little menu. And I think raise your hand is one of those things in there. So, okay.
All right.
Muting myself again.
Okay.
Oh, before I do, I was just going to say, it looks like the possibilities really are endless. Okay, wait a minute. Donna Cato, and this is from Marlene. Donna Cato on her Prairie Cabin Facebook has a video on making signature cane.
There's so much on it. Plus, I went ahead, instead of making a cane, bought some already stamps with my initials from this place that's having such a struggle to stay open, RJ Crafts. They are struggling right now. But gosh, a couple years ago when they were okay, yeah, I had these made. You can get several fonts from them, they would just make them. But there's other places that make stamps. So I'm really okay at this point with my signature, because I don't always want to carve it or uh-oh, oh no, my battery is low on my phone. Okay.
Wait a minute, we lost your
It says
video.
back phone. Oh gosh.
Yeah, that's on your phone. Let me see.
Okay. I should
Ask to
really.
start. Oh, there we go. There you're back.
Well,
Okay.
it's got 20% battery on it, though. It's not going to work for the rest of this thing. I guess I should plug it in while I'm doing this, maybe.
Might be a good idea.
Boy. Where's my plug? Let's see where I put it. Oh boy. Oh, geez. You guys talk while I'm gone. Okay.
All right, everyone's unmuted so you can talk.
Oh my God.
I said, are we having fun yet?
For anyone that hasn't seen my signature stamp, let's see if I can put it up here, and if you can see it, if there's the stamp.
Good.
And this is from metalclays.com, and it's a pretty small one. So, okay.
So Jane, you don't have your video on. We can't see you.
Neither
But
does
hi.
Jane. Yeah, Jane, are you covering your camera up on purpose?
Hi, Jane.
You have to go down in the left lower corner and turn on your video.
Okay. Okay, now where'd I go?
Okay.
Yeah, if
Hi. Look at that.
Okay, here's my stand. I have 2 of them here, one larger and one smaller. And I got these from Jet.
Yeah.
I have one. I got it from RJ Crafts. It's nice. Like Debbie's.
Okay, now where'd I go?
There. Okay.
I made a stamp with a laser.
Oh, of course you
Really
did.
Yeah. I can't get over all these great faces here. I just keep grinning from ear to ear, and there's Ruth, and you know, there's Myra, and I've been waving at you.
It's so good to see you too, Penny Jo.
Yes, you look great.
Oh, yeah, trying to get sleep.
Seriously, it's just a joy to see all your faces.
Even though I only see you guys once a year, I do appreciate seeing you again.
Yes. And I keep expecting you to have a camera, Ruth, and be filming on.
Good.
Yeah,
Yeah. And you look
I'm kind of
great.
operating the camera today, sorta. I'm operating the record button, let's put it that way.
Did
And
you guys figure out why I was going away?
What?
I said, did you guys figure out why I kept disappearing? I
Oh,
literally live on the edge of technology here, and the signal is really weak. And I couldn't keep it up the whole time.
I guess that's something to keep in mind if you're gonna looking at moving out to the country.
Yep. And when I say on the edge, there's nothing behind me but farm fields. That's it.
it looks like Jane's video isn't even connected.
Right. It
So her
does.
video isn't muted, it's just not even connected.
Right. Right.
You can talk to us, Jane.
Maybe she went to get one of her boys to figure it out.
Oh,
That's
well,
a good
maybe.
idea.
Yeah. I
Interesting.
finally figured out how to make Debbie's hands really big. And I click, when she's the only one talking, she pops up.
Right, that's the
Yeah.
speaker view.
Right. But if anybody else turns on and speaks, they pop up.
Right.
Yeah.
That's why I mute everyone whenever she's talking. And that's one of the things we're gonna have to, if we have to do this very many times. Connie and I have talked, and we'll be doing this again in June, I guess. We'll have to figure out when we're doing show and tell, we may have to do, I may have to mute everyone, and then I think you can unmute yourself.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure.
Uh-huh.
If I've muted everyone, I'm not sure if you can unmute yourself, but I think you can. So
maybe you could just tell us to mute ourselves.
yeah, we can do that too. Either way. But
Yeah, that's the bottom left. Yeah.
oh, that's because I unmuted you, Debbie. Let me see. Okay. I got it.
If you have two devices in the same room, you get the feedback.
Yes, and I'm trying to.
They don't play well together.
Okay, for whatever reason, Debbie, I'm not. Oh, there we go. Now your phone's unmuted.
All right.
I think we were both trying to unmute it at the same time.
Okay.
So
right. Let's do this.
let me know when you're ready to go again, and I'll go ahead and mute everyone.
So Penny Joe, go up to the right hand corner and click on speaker view, and then
Got
you
it.
get the big screen to Debbie.
Yep. Got it now. Yeah. Oh, nobody there.
Okay. All right. You ready, Debbie?
Yes.
Okay. Muting everyone.
Oh, there's the lighting again. Okay.
Okay. It does. I was able to check it, so you can unmute yourself. So if you have a question, you can jump in and ask it and just unmute yourself. That's for everybody else, Debbie. Wait a minute. I got you muted. Oh, there we go. Okay.
Penny Joe, I see your thing. Wonderful fun. How sweet. Okay, let's see. Okay, this lighting, I'm gonna just, yeah. See what happens. Oh, that's not too bad. Okay, I'm making a, what am I making? Oh, a heart out of a bullseye. The cords that are my charging cords are getting frayed. They're like where I bend, there's wires about to come out of some of them, so I'm gonna have to get new cords eventually. I can see that. There's a short end on some of them. What I'm doing is pushing down on one of the edges of this cane that I kind of flattened a little bit. And so now it looks like this kind of shape. Okay, and all I'll do is cut it in half and put them together, and I'll have a heart. It can be as fat or skinny as you need it to be in all different sizes. And you can tweak it. Let me do it down here first. Teardrop shape. I hear you, Penny Joe. That's cute. Okay. Yes, 2 teardrop shapes equal a heart. And this is one with the line in the center. You don't have to have a line in the center. You can just do one without it and just have a, oh, well, here's 2 hearts, but yet you can keep going with this on and on and on. If you use just this and stick a needle tool in it, you can just bend it, push the clay down, shove it down to make a heart to bring it to a point. And I'm doing this quickly, but here's the idea. So much love. You can never have enough. I guess you can kind of see. Oh, there it is. Okay, it's better. So that's the heart. Now, then I did a group of zebra canes. Oh, Connie likes that. Thank you, Connie. I can see you. Okay. Zebra canes that I just put those pre-baked slices on, and that way they're perfect circles, the red ones. And that's the zebra. And there's those ceramic black beads again. Whenever I can find those, I grab them because they're really, thank you, Penny Joe. Goodness, you guys, I see ya. It's like quick texting coming in. But yeah, the heart is a really, I like to use that symbol as often as possible these days, especially. All we need is love. Okay. And then these little guys, here's another heart shape. And they're a little bit darker palette, but they're still the same color scheme, red, black, and white. And let's see how this camera angle is. And all of these, the white ones especially, I'm sure are baked, pre-baked canes that were perfect circles that I could stick on later. And the bottom is a heart cane. Yeah. Yeah, those are fun to wear. Then I've been collecting feathers over the years. So I found some of those spotted feathers at one of the craft stores in red and black. And so I had to make a pair of earrings and make some bullseye canes at the top part up here. Pre-bake the cane and then put it on another baked piece. And then the thing is, I pre-baked this whole piece first with polymer, left an opening at the bottom, and then shoved the feather in later after it was baked. I would not dare bake a feather, but they were glued in later with really good glue. So that's my red, black, and white stash for summertime, usually when I go out doing stuff, going to shows and stuff. Okay. Now, eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Oh, this, okay, let's see. While we're in the blue family, I'm moving back into the blue family here, actually. I like indigo a lot. I'm a blue fan when it comes to like African indigo and even denim. Any kind of blues are really cool. And turquoise, I love those too. So, and the complement to blue is orange. You probably know from studying color. These are, this is like a scrap clay end of cane pieces. These are old canes too. A lot of them are, some are made of Fimo, some have cracked even. But I cut those babies up one day and just stuck them on a background. Just a background piece. And they stuck really well. And I smashed them in really good. And this is like a textile. It reminds me of a textile pattern. And of course, blue and orange are complementary colors. So, and then red, yellow, and blue are primary colors. So all those colors are included in this, including brown. And it works well for me. However, I don't want to cut this up yet. I want to really study it before I start hacking away at it. But I may be using like a mirror image over here of an earring or something to see what I want to make out of from that. I have so many of these templates at home. I am at home. I have so many of these templates, and I can decide what I want to do with that, or even a cookie cutter or whatever I want to go over that, just to look and see, like a window view, to see what works for me. But from that, I ended up making, let's see, a smaller pair of earrings to start with another sheet I did. These are going to be sanded and buffed. I don't like to put a gloss on cane pieces per se. Since polymer clay is already plastic, if I putting a shiny coating on just plain canes, to me makes it look cheaper. So I like to just have it sanded and buffed to a polish if I can do that. So these will be sanded. However, when there's some kind of material added to the surface, like leaf or something, or paint, or chalks or something, I do put a varnish on it. So this has gold leaf underneath, and so with that I had to put a varnish on it with the canes. I'm experimenting now with gold leaf and canes. Thank you, Laura. And there's a great leaf that I've been finding that is like a coppery, rusty orange. It's called orange leaf. This looks really blurry, maybe right about there. But I did put a varnish. I used flectovarathane. I see your question, Connie. Flectovarathane satin. And matte sometimes I'll mix with it because I don't like it real shiny and glossy, just enough. In fact, I'll thin it down with water just so it won't be real glossy. This is not the best view, but at least you can kind of see. Thank you. Yeah, satin is a subtle color. It's not glaring at you to death, and pretty subtle. Yeah. So there is that. What's in here? Oh, these are just some little cane slices I cut out. I try to keep the colors together. When I'm ready to pull them out again, I'll work with these this spring, this blue color palette. This is waiting for me to get back to. When I make a bunch of canes in a color palette, I'll lay them on a little sheet and have them ready color-wise so that I can work from there. Keeping track of these canes is the hardest thing for me to do. Canes are everywhere, and wrapping, and sandwich bags, and saran wrap, and there's just so many little pieces. I don't like to throw away scraps per se. I'm going to save these strips and use them for other pieces eventually. Make a collage, use them on the back. What's Tom saying, Betty?
What did you say, Debbie?
What did you say?
I don't know. Okay, Tom said you only need a surface protection. And Connie says, what are you using for the sheet they are on?
Okay, first question was what again?
Oh, it wasn't a question. Tom was just saying you only need a surface protection. So like when you have something like the leaf or whatever on there.
Yes, that's the only reason I painted the canes. I don't like to put glossy paint on canes, just for the heck of it. Like this, for instance, these are sanded to a nice satin sheen without any gloss on it. Sometimes gloss even shows up paint brush strokes, and it just, to me, it can cheapen the look in a sense. I personally just would rather have the richness of the beautiful way the clay makes itself on its own, basically. And what was the other question about?
What are you using for the sheet they are on? What are you putting your cane slices on? Yeah.
Oh, just a piece of clay, a color that matches one of the clay colors in the cane. This is just I'm using Primo, basically.
No, that plastic flat sheet.
Oh, okay.
Cutting on.
Oh, this?
Where do you get those from? This
was from a cook store that sells kitchen supplies. And I think they went out of business, but they may have more. They come in a bigger size to like 12 by 18. But these are little mini ones for your cutting board. That's what they are, cutting board things. They're so really good to have. But I'll get you the reference if I can still find it. But they just went out of business this year. It drove me crazy. I hated to see them go. Yeah, at the Smithsonian in DC, the Black History Museum there, I'm so honored to be a part of. They're selling my work in their gift shop, and they gave me a showcase to myself, actually. I'm like, yes, represent polymer clay in the Smithsonian. I'm so honored. So they ended up ordering these pins that I make that are, I call them women of praise. They're all happy, like I am so happy right now. I have so much to be thankful for. I've been through a lot in my life, and I have a testimony. And so I made a whole session of praise pins, per se. And some are dancing and leaping and jumping, and this lady's just saying thank you. But with that, I use a lot of paint patterns and slices. And this lady in New York, these are the wooden pieces I have. Oh, thank you. A lady from New York makes these. She and her husband makes these. I order them from her, and they're dancing and carrying on. And so she even makes little tiny ones. These are like 1-inch scale. They come white or whatever color you might want her to spray paint them yourself. But they're just darling. And so I've been using them. They're little tiny ones that stand up with the taller ones. Anyway, so these are, the Smithsonian ordered a bunch of sorority colors now. So they want the Zetas and the Deltas and the AKAs now. So I have to use pink and green, blue and white, and red and white, which is my sorority. So they want to order those once the Smithsonian opens again, because it's closed right now. So I have a minute before I have to get to that order. So what I do is start with a background. These are just laying on one of these little sheets again. You can see that one. And just start with a Skinner blend, make a sky, for instance. And I got so carried away on this one with playing. I love making these background, the landscapes, but these ladies eventually get anchored to them. This is the background for them. Yeah, okay. Anyway, so that's, yeah.
It's
that's
okay.
how,
It's really hard to figure out which direction to go with it.
yeah, really? Okay. So anyway, so that, yeah, so it's just simple. And then I put a pin back on them, and then I go from there. Yeah, I anchored the pin in there so it's really sealed. I don't like to put a Band-Aid on the back of a pin back. I like to go ahead and put the whole sheet over it so that it's covered entirely when I'm doing a pin. So that's that. Yeah, I'll be making these orders eventually. I don't know when they may open. Who knows? It might be summer. It's hard to even gauge anymore when things will open again. So I'm just going to take my time and get to them a little later. But she wants 3 different sororities in pins, necklaces, brooches, earrings, and I'll have to come up with something for them. So let's see. This is something I'm waiting on too. This is indigo, and again, there are bullseyes, but they were stacked, just squashed and stacked and just scattered. This kind of art I call mindless creativity. When I'm just sitting and playing and chopping up and laying, I don't have to think, I can just do it. And I love it because you can just cut and paste, and there's nothing I have to think about where what goes and all that. This piece is a bunch of scraps, literally.
Because it's so great to have a polymer clay ambassador at the Smithsonian. I agree.
Oh,
I think
now
it's awesome that you're there.
Ambassador, bless your heart. Oh dear. Well, anyway, this is, if you can see it, these are just more scraps. And then I like the texture with denim, blue jean denim too, to make it even look more denim-y. If I can get this open. Here we go. Now, let's see, can you see that? Yeah, just playing. Mindless creativity. It's just stuff I can use for, these could be made into beads or wrap around something or a vessel pendant. I mean, there's so much you can do with this scrap. So that's why it's hard for me to store stuff, because I've got so many different scraps here and there. If anyone has any brilliant scrap ideas, I like that bandana idea, Myra. Yes. Yeah, scrap ideas and scrap storage. In fact, mine are all in flat boxes. I try to put plastic in between all these sheets and layers and stuff, and go from there. Yeah. Let's see. These were just more, I don't know how the lighting is anymore. This is the indigo I'm working on now this summer. Just some pieces I'm going to put together to make earrings. This bullseye cane I baked and started cutting slices off of it because I'm going to be mounting them on something. And they're perfect circles because when you bake the bullseye, it has nowhere else to go but perfect. As long as you put it in the oven, I put some batting under it so it will stay round and not flat. What does Penny does what now? What does Penny do? I didn't catch that, Penny. What did you say?
She said, I put my sheet scraps into a sheet protector and store them in a notebook.
Ooh, I love that. Okay, now I need to get the brand of that sheet protector so that to make sure it's compatible. And where
I'm not sure that it matters. I've been using sheet protectors for a long time and
Right.
haven't had a problem.
All right, good deal. Okay.
Just don't get the vinyl sheet protectors.
Okay, that's good to know. But so what are the other ones then? If they're not vinyl, they're something else or?
Poly something or other.
Okay, all right. This is indigo fabric that I've literally cut off and put TLS on to stick it to the clay and bake fabric on the clay. So the earrings I'm wearing today are of such. The indigo fabric's in the middle with the shibori dye on it. Then the top and bottom are the bullseye canes on both of these earrings. I made a whole collection of these. So this is how I start with this particular earring using the fabric. And let's see, how long do I bake the canes? Oh, 30 minutes, Tom. Just a basic 30 minutes. Let them cool slightly, then start cutting them when they're still warm. Not too soon out of the oven or else they may crack or split or something. But yeah.
And I don't know if you saw this comment, but Penny Jo said that she bought the Staples brand sheet protectors way back when. And I was gonna say, I have no idea what brand mine are. I've had them for years.
I'll try it. It makes sense. It sounds so practical to store them in sleeves. Yeah. Oh, this is one more thing here. Let's see. Yeah, this is a cane I recently made out of the indigo. But again, they are bullseyes. Starting with the bullseye that you pinch into a triangle. And I know a lot of you may be using extruders now, but you can probably do the same with the extruders with the triangle template in it. But on the bullseye, you can make the bullseye as big as you want as far as the triangle goes. But that's just another bag of goodies I have waiting for me to play with. And Tom, speaking of flexibility and cosplay, I've just thought of another thing I can use the cosplay for, and that will be antennas for my insects. Yes, perfect. I start with a body, just a base, and I leave a hole in it to stick the antenna in. Let's see, Penny Jo. Oh, look at you, Penny Jo. Penny Jo, I'm so glad you joined us today. Let's see. It's been years since I've seen Penny Jo. I met her at the IPCA retreat here in Columbus. And I think Dee is here with us, I think. She met you maybe selling the molds. You had a booth there, and I was chairperson, and it was good meeting you, yeah. Haven't seen you since 2014, actually. But Tom, these are my antennas. This whole little bag here is full of them. If you can see, there's just tons of different shapes and stuff I made. So, and I like making insects every now and then. So, but these are made from Sculpiflex, Ultra, what's it called? Sculpiflex. The word flex is in there somewhere because it's flexible. And so now the cosplay will really work for these. I'm going to cut this down and stick that in there. But it'll make a great, put it over the white. Yeah. So Tom, I'm liking this. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and use some of the black I already have for some antennas because this will be perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. These are some of the shapes I've got. There's nothing like a good bug every now and then, you know? Insect jewelry. But with that, I made a series of dragonflies several years ago, and made a pin pendant out of it. Now, those of you who signed up for the tie-dyed bead class, this is what this is in the middle. So I made a bunch of bodies with that tie-dyed bead, and I got the little antennas on the top. And I know now to use this cosplay because this is, I mixed the what's that called? Super flat, what is that Sculpey product? I can't even think of it right now. But I mixed it with a color of Primo, and it hardens it a little bit. So I'd rather have a cosplay I can see right now for this, so it won't break, because some of these have broken over the years. Then these are more bullseye canes I stuck on the wings. Okay, and then the leaf cane, Deb, I'm sure you've made several of these leaf canes. And on the back, when people turn it over, they're like, oh, you did the back. Well, yes, I did the back. I have tons of canes here. So I just went ahead and decorated the back while I was at it. But this is a special bail pin that you can just make it into a necklace and a pin at the same time. Yeah, that took a little labor there, so I had to put a bigger price on that piece. Yeah. Okay, then here are just some beige. I went through this beige and a brown series, the earth tones, and pre-baked canes, and made just a bunch of those. I've already sliced. They're ready to go and be anchored onto something. These are going to be earrings eventually, but they're all pre-baked bullseye canes. And you're familiar with maybe wrapping the stripes around a bullseye? If not, that's another class. Because that's a different, it's not a big deal, but it's just a little bit more I'd have to show you. And then these are going to be, oh, this is the negative. This is the dark with the light wrap around it, bullseye, and then this is just another shade of bullseye. This is how, when you squish this, oh, here we go. When you squish this, you end up with that kind of shape. So it's the same concept of like the negative shape when you're doing this. And then with that, I'll make some kind of bobble or something. Yeah.
Okay, Marlene is asking, on the pre-baked cane, do you warm them again to slice them?
I do, just slightly, yes. It seems to cut like butter when it's warm, okay? And this is one unit, and then this is several units when I combine them to make a component. And I have tons of components laying around the house, well, not laying around the house, but in certain areas that I can go to when it's time for a certain color scheme. This is a bullseye, once again, that was squished into a triangle and made into a square shape, like an African mudcloth pattern. Yeah. Bullseyes forever. Okay. Now, let's see, over here. Oh, it's 4 o'clock here. Okay, 4 o'clock. All right. I'm almost done, Betty. I'm almost done. A few more show and tell. Let's see.
You're fine.
Okay. Oh, this is the, gosh, what's in here? This was the lime and black series I went through last year, I believe it was. I go through certain times where I'm doing certain color schemes because I'm not a one-horse pony, or what's that called? A one-horse hound? What's that term called? One-trick pony. That's
Yeah,
what
one-trick pony.
I like. Yeah, there's so much color out there for us to play with and stuff, and I'm not going to be known as the purple lady or whatever. It's okay with me if whoever it is, but I like to just experiment. There's so much out there to play with, and I cannot get these untangled. But this right now is a bullseye cane in the African trade bead that I made in a different color palette with the lime or the wasabi and the, yeah, like that. Good for summer and stuff. Then I'll use, these are vinyl discs, African vinyl discs that are great for spacer beads because they're matte and satiny, kind of like polymer is. That's why I like that matte look, per se, to go with polymer, because it seems to blend really well. And if I can get this untangled, I don't think I'll be doing that now, but this is going to be a necklace. It's reversible too. Wow, I better finish this baby. Oh, here we go. This is kind of interesting. I will get started on something and not finish. And I have a lot of stuff like that. Can anybody else say amen to that? Really, there's so much stuff I haven't finished. But what is this? This is, I think this is the centerpiece. I was trying to get fancy and maybe do a double. Yeah, okay, so that's the front. Let's see. Here we go. Penny Joe. Oh, this lighting though. Okay, so anyway, there's a circle in the front, and then a makumagane on the front, and the back has kind of like scraps and different things, just a plaything. So I didn't, you know, when I get started sometime, I don't always finish. It's got to really start singing to me and let me know that it's going to be really interesting when I get done with it. I don't want to slop stuff together. I got to take time and make sure it's sometime museum quality if I get to that point, because I really want to make it look good and stand out on its own and not just piddle around these days. I've been doing this so long, I tell you. Oh, these are more trade beads and salmon, like a coral, I mean, and a brown and a tan with the stripes on the outside. This is a class I recently taught, the African trade bead class, actually. So these are more bullseye canes used in different ways. Yeah. More bullseyes on that dome piece. And I baked it on like a light bulb or some kind of domed kind of shape. So, because I love dimension. Let's see, there we go. So I am kind of thinking, oh, I know what I got. I got one more thing. Yeah. I was working with metallic ever since my flight was canceled for the Oklahoma trip, and I was doing the metallic workshop. I jumped into my metallic stash and started playing with more techniques that I am going to share with you the next time you see me sometime, and maybe the first time in person. But I ended up making pendants that are hinged metallic pendants, and they all have a hinge. Thank goodness for Tori Hughes teaching on a video years ago how to make hinges. So I've been playing with that concept because I've always liked my jewelry to dance. I like for it to move and dance. And so I've been using the metallic leaf and paints and the powders. And then this is another hinge piece with canes. And the scarab is at the top. And this is like a leaf and stuff on there. Different earth tones. And then Betty, I'm going to try to get you to make some metallic roses and stuff. Yeah, I know you've already made them though, right?
Do what? You're going to do
metallic roses, and or is it always poinsettia? What? Well, I haven't seen your whole collection. Have you ever done the metallics other than the glitter? Let's put it that way.
I've worked with it some.
Okay.
I probably need to do more.
Okay.
Which is one of the reasons I had signed up for your class.
Sure. Yeah, I'm hinged to death here, Connie. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Yeah, there's a way to do this with wire. There's a way to do it with a bead. I even ordered some miniature door hinges for miniature dollhouses with the brass hinge where you put nails, there's holes in them and stuff. So I'm going to do all kinds of hinges and maybe do a tutorial or something on it. But I'm really enjoying working with the metallic and the hinge techniques just to explore with it. Because someone said that I should make jewelry that draws a person across the room. I'm like, okay, I don't think I can. Because I like to make big pieces, basically. Statement, I call it statement jewelry, of course, because it does make a statement. But that's my style at this point. pretty much always done it. I want to be in the next, like the Black Panther movie or Coming to America, where there are actors that are coming in with these costumes on. I'd love to see my stuff on the silver screen one day. That's one of my bucket list things to do. Here is another hinge here with this piece. And it's pretty basic, the hinge. I use a whirligig, what's that thing called, that you twirl on. This is the crazy piece I did. I was in a challenge recently to see if I could use some glass as one of the components in the piece. So I found some broken auto glass one day and I took it home. so I ended up making a mosaic with this section here and did a hinge piece from there. This technique with the jump rings is very, very trendy right now. And I actually don't think the trend is here for a while. Everyone's making these earrings, and someone held up someone earlier today. I forgot who it was that had the jump rings in them, connecting pieces together, which is really the thing that's going now. So speaking of that, I did this piece using Chroma Crackle, which you can probably see in the light. I've had these pieces laying around, but I thought I'd attach them with a jump ring and make like an image with one of my favorite masks. So this is a statement piece that's about this big on. And when someone said you should be drawn across the room when someone sees your piece, that's a good thing. I think some of these would do that. So that's what I've been up to lately, ladies and gents. And it was good seeing everyone and sharing with you. Are there any questions or comments or anything? You can unmute everybody.
Okay, everybody's unmuted. Let's see, let me, okay.
Questions, comments, suggestions, what? Ideas, what? Tips, tricks? Let's see.
Well, you've inspired me to get out some of my canes that, they're not necessarily bullseye canes, but it makes me wonder what I can do with them if I, if I go ahead and bake them.
Sure, that too. Yeah, that's definitely a plus. Yeah.
So.
Okay, good deal.
Debbie.
Yes.
When you slice your canes, are they real thin so that you could even bend them when you start assembling them?
I'm not sure which canes. The raw or the baked?
The baked ones. Are they real thin?
What was the question was, are they thin?
Yeah, the slices of the baked ones.
However thick you want them to be, actually, but I like to make them rather thin. I don't want to waste the cane, even if it's raw, I don't want to waste a good cane. So I'd rather thin. These are like that thin. They're like a 4 or 5 thickness on your pasta machine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'd rather save it. Yeah.
Right.
And not use a whole lot of thickness in it. Yeah. All that work I put make it thin so I can get my money's worth out of it.
But you're not laminating them into the extra clay, are you? They're still dimensional whenever you
No, I'm not, because I like for it to be dimensional.
Oh, okay.
On top, yeah.
Okay, that is cool.
Some are embedded, yes, but raised, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Sure, yeah.
Probably can cut it really thin with the Lucy slicer.
That's what I was thinking.
Okay, good stuff. Lucy slicer. I didn't invest in one of those yet. Oh, gosh. Do I need to get one, Tom, a Lucy slicer? Is it something I have to have?
It's certainly been great for me. I have trouble slicing thinly.
Okay. Yeah.
They have redesigned the mini, and the new redesigned mini is way better than the original.
Oh, that's good to know. Okay.
Yeah. Debbie, I think that clay was called Bend and Bake.
Oh yes, Bend and Bake.
Actually, it wasn't. Oh, I have to go back in my studio for it.
I think they did have a Superflex.
Oh, I know. Superflex, that's it. Because it's mold maker. That's what it is. It's the Sculpey mold maker. There we go. It's a purple white box. And yes, it's for making molds, and they're flexible molds. And they don't make it anymore. I think they discontinued it, the mold maker.
No, they've got mold maker. It's just in a plain color.
I need to go see. I'll go check. I'll have to email you guys later because, yeah.
Talking about this stuff?
Got it.
Because it's beige. Yeah, that's it. What's that called?
That's
Mold
called-
maker.
Mold maker. Mold
And
maker.
they're making it.
So you're just adding clay to it, polymer to it?
Yeah, some primo. Generally, a little bit of black to it because I don't want to contaminate or make it so that it won't bend. But yeah, just for color.
Huh. That's
But I
a
heard
good
they
tip.
discontinued it. In my heart, I said, no, I can't discontinue this. But now that cosplay is on the market, hey, that'll be a great substitute. It comes in colors. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was going to ask you on the cosplay, have you tried doing your hinges with that?
Who? Moi?
Have you tried doing hinges with the cosplay?
No, I haven't. You
I
mean
don't know if it would work or not. I don't know how you do your hinges, but
wire coil kind of look?
Mhm.
Okay, I can try
I
it.
don't know.
Let's see.
Oh, and speaking of cosplay, I just got an email just a few minutes ago.
Really?
Yes, and they are saying sale begins at 10 a.m. Eastern. That'd be 9 o'clock our time on Monday. That's at monstermakers.com/cosplay. We recently added some single color surplus packages. Below are the packs that will be available.
Can you forward that to us maybe, or?
Yeah, because it's on my list to do.
yeah,
I'm
I
gonna email
can.
them.
Good, that would be great.
Um,
But
yeah,
right now, I don't know. You're saying to make this part out of clay, the wire?
Okay, so that's wire.
Wire.
Other hinge.
Yeah, but
Yeah, the whole piece isn't clay. I mean, yeah, the hinge is the wire part that goes up through here at the top. I anchored it to there's a hole in it's a coil. So I put a wire through and bent it to go through the top part.
okay.
So I wasn't sure what
Well,
you
that might
meant.
not work then.
Okay. Yeah. But yeah, I like that with the dangling elements and
Oh, Penny Joe, I hope we don't lose you.
yeah, I saw that.
Well, okay, you guys just all freeze. That's what I get. When everybody quits, I can hear the talking, but the pictures all just go solid freeze pictures. And I thought, uh-oh.
Debbie, thank you so much.
Yeah, it was very, very interesting.
Good to
Thank
see
you.
you, Debbie.
Enjoyable. It was so enjoyable. Well, that was
It's amazing what you can do with a simple bullseye cane. That's just unreal.
And then there could be a whole striped thing. There could be almost any pattern. But a bullseye is so basic. The stripe would be the next thing to make it into 1,000 different things because it's so versatile also, stripes. So there's so many things. My gosh. And I'm still discovering polymer. It's held my attention for over 20 some years. And so it's been a treat.
So Betty, you can make some bullseye roses.
There you go.
Bullseye roses.
Or even letters in the roses, huh?
Yeah, bullseye patterns.
Yeah, all
Wow.
the petals.
Yeah.
Now, Betty, what is your favorite flower? What is your flower? Or do you have a flower per se that you like?
Well,
Yes, in Concedia.
probably the poinsettia. That's the one. This is my little cosplay poinsettia here.
Yeah.
But I haven't made, haven't done anything more with it. I was supposed to do a video to post on Instagram, and I haven't done that yet. I need to get it done. And then this is the one that I mixed with, let me turn my lamp on here and see if it'll show I don't know if we can see it. Probably not. But anyway, Now you can kind of see, if I hold it up right like that, you can see the translucence. I mixed it with the Primo White Translucent. That was the one that I was doing, you know, I had it in the oven when we were doing our little thing last month.
Translucent.
It's mixed with Primo White Translucent. It's the cosplay, so it's.
Oh, but does cosplay have a translucent yet in their
No,
palette?
they do not have a translucent yet. So anyway, you can kind of maybe kind of see that it does bend. It's flexible.
But he's been getting a lot of requests for the translucent from not just from us, but from he's talked about a lot of. So I think it's probably high on his agenda of things to.
I think so. That and pearl colors, I think, probably.
So Betty, you said you're going to have a business meeting when I leave.
Yes, you may.
When you know, yeah, we're planning to have a business meeting. It may not be very long. I don't know. Connie, what do you think? You think? Of course, we can
I'm
talk.
hoping we can keep it kind of short and sweet. But no, anybody who doesn't want to stay for the business meeting that's not a member, you are welcome. You're excused.
Well, I will politely push the meeting button. And thank you all for inviting me back. And I hope you have a wonderful week and
Mother's Day.
Yeah, and
Thank you. Thank you.
Are you guys still looking
Yeah,
for a
thank you for
demo person
coming.
for next month?
Yes, we are.
Before
Deb?
they leave, maybe any of them might want to volunteer.
That's a good idea.
I didn't hear what you said.
Because I know Dee does a wonderful flower.
The second weekend in June, we are going to have to do another Zoom call because I have been calling places and nobody is scheduling with me. They're not allowed to schedule anything.
Okay.
So we need somebody to volunteer for a demo for June.
Okay. All right. I'm going to take this phone off, leave meeting.
All right. Peace.
Bye, Debbie.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you, Debbie.
Goodbyes, but bye.
All right.
So
Thank
good
you
to
so
see you
much, Debbie.
again.
I'm gonna go. Thank you, everybody, for
Bye,
letting me come
Dee.
again.
You're welcome. Bye, Dee.
you
Be
again.
safe.
It'll take me
Be
a
well.
minute to, how do I, oh, there we go. I got it. Thank you. Thanks,
The
Debbie.
button that says
Thanks,
leave
Debbie.
meeting.
So good.
Oh, there it is. Leave meeting. Okey doke.
Oh, wait a minute. Let me